So, I'd say last year's Full Gear was pretty good, and I'm hoping for this year's to be pretty good as well. Even though AEW pay-per-views this year, they haven't been fully horrible, but they've had some major bumps in the road, shall we say, for lack of a better term. And there might be one match on here that kind of reminds people of some stuff, but we'll just get to it when we get to it. We do have a pretty stacked card, though. A lot of good shit to look forward to. And, yeah, I'd say so. And there probably isn't really much else we can get into, but, yeah. I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me, as always, is Orange Cassidy's personal hype man, Heathy.
Well, it's looking like a potential show of the year, so let's get to work on predicting it.
And, of course, joining us is our resident John Moxley stan, Steven.
What's up, everyone? Hope everyone has a great Friday. Yes. And, yeah.
And without further ado, let's get into it. Our first match is Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega in the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament final match. Winner will receive a future AEW World Championship match. So, let me see if I can find the point where we can get to it, because everything's a little out of whack here. Oh, here it is. On the September 30th episode of Dynamite, it was announced, that there would be an 8-man single elimination tournament culminating at Full Gear, with the winner receiving a future AEW World Championship match. Jungle Boy, Rey Fenix, Kenny Omega, Wardlow, Colt Cabana for some reason, Adam Page, Joey Janela for some reason, and Penta L0M were announced as participants. The tournament occurred over the following month, with former tag team partners Omega and Page advancing to the final at Full Gear. So this is kind of an interesting spot that we're into, basically, because, well, Kenny Omega himself has slowly been seeping back to that older style, cleaner character that he had in NJPW that people were wanting so badly from the start. But you know what they say, good things come to those who wait. And Hangman Page also, as well, has been doing some excellent work as well. And with Omega and Page having imploded after losing the AEW World Tag Team Championship belts to FTR, it seems like their implosion is finally going to come full circle, or shall I say Full Gear at, well, Full Gear. Hey-oh! For real, though, the story itself has actually been built up very nicely with the implosion of these two, and I imagine this is going to be one hell of a match, so, you definitely got to keep your eyes out for this one. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
I've been a big fan of this tournament, and it probably has been used as just a catalyst to get to this point, having Omega and Page. So I would have liked to see this tournament perhaps be a bit bigger and maybe stretched out of a bit more period of time. But we don't know what they have in the pipeline for Omega and Page in the new year. Obviously, one's getting a world title shot. Hopefully they can revisit this feud, because it's been fun to watch, and I hope this doesn't signal the end of it. As to who I think is going to win, I still feel like they're playing on the fact that Adam Page was somewhat of a weak link in the team, and Page has something to prove to Omega that he can hang with him at the main event. But for now, I think it's going to be a close encounter, but I think it's going to be Kenny Omega who wins this one.
Interesting. And, Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, 1 second. My thing just spilled.
Ah, hell. Like they say on Saturday Night Live, I hate when that happens.
I think Kenny Omega's gonna win, so he can face Moxley. And that match last year didn't count, so this one will count.
It was a lights-out, unsanctioned match. Pretty, brutal, too. Not for the faint of heart, and I can definitely say that for a fact. And,
I can say this for myself. My dad didn't like that match. He didn't like what he saw during that match. I'm like, really? I mean, you watched WWE and like the old WWE, and this is not reminds you of that
the
kind of
Attitude
days.
Era,
Like
huh? Oof, yeah. Well, maybe he'll realize it later on.
Yes, okay, and FYI, okay, you know how Cody couldn't defend the AEW World Champion, right?
You mean can't challenge for it?
Yeah, challenge for it, my bad. Well, now his name is now Cody Rhodes, so
yeah,
I think
we'll get into that when we get into the next match.
Yeah.
You think Kenny Omega is going to win for this one, Steven?
Yep.
I'm going to agree with you both as well. I think with the way that they've been going with Omega and stuff and everything building up between the match last year that happened, it would probably only make sense that Omega comes back full force. And I wouldn't mind if it was him who dethrones Mox and fully becomes the cleaner character that he was in NJPW. So I'm going with Omega as well on this one. And our next match is Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin for the AEW TNT Championship. Notice how I just said Cody Rhodes and not just Cody. Well, that's because he finally got his last name back. Hooray! WWE's pettiness has finally subsided for once, and yay! Well, Mox already brought it up, but, I just had to get that off my chest. I'm very happy, at least, that he does have his full name back, too, so this is gonna be great. Now, where were we? So after Cody wrestled Orange Cassidy to a time-limit draw and retained the TNT Championship on the October 14th episode of Dynamite, it was announced that Darby Allin would challenge for the title at Full Gear. And before Full Gear, Cody had a title rematch with Cassidy in a lumberjack match on the October 28th Dynamite, in which Cody won, keeping him as the defending champion against Allin. I have to say, Darby Allin himself, I really do think has the potential, and I feel like it should be his time soon to get some spotlight in the TNT Championship division. And not to mention, with the name change, with Cody finally becoming Cody Rhodes once again, you have to wonder, are they going to use that loophole potentially as a way to circumvent the whole you can't challenge for the title belts anymore? Because Cody can't, but Cody Rhodes could? I don't know.
He might be able to challenge Omega. That'd be Cody elite member versus elite member. Omega
that would be nice. That would be nice, but I'm not sure. It kind of just depends, because you can't keep him out of the title forever.
Yeah. But we're not gonna get that till probably next year at least until Revolution. That's gonna be
yeah. But still, though, this should be a pretty good match as well. We know what they're both capable of, and even though they put on good stuff in the past, I don't see why this wouldn't be any different. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
Just to clear things up, I think Cody said in a press conference quite recently that it doesn't matter whether he's Cody Rhodes, Cody Runnels, or the Midnight Rider. I don't think he'll be going for the title anytime soon. I think that was in his own words.
Oof.
So unless there's like something, I don't know, just different circumstances that can result in it being lifted, there's no hope for Cody title reign.
Well, you might as well press F to pay respects at this point. Continue.
Yeah, so basically this is Cody's world title, the TNT title. And I guess the TNT titles took on like an open challenge sort of role.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Cody before. And to have Darby go against him at Full Gear, if the open challenge thing wasn't in circulation, I wouldn't understand it, but everyone could go for the title. I've liked the vignettes that Darby Allin has done recently. They've been he's really tapped into his more artistic side of the last year or so, and that's been good to see. Do I think it's Darby Allin's time? I don't know. I mean, I feel like Cody with the TNT title still has some legs, and I think it's going to be one of them things where in WWE you have Roman Reigns and Strowman, the Joker and Batman, the ones that always fight but one. And in that case, Roman Reigns always has the upper hand over someone slightly. And I think that's the case in AEW. Cody is Batman and Darby Allin is Joker. Cody has that slight edge on Darby Allin in every match they compete in. So for that reason, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I would love to see Darby Allin win. I'm going to go with Cody here.
I see. And Steven, who do you think's going to win?
This one's tough. Like, this one is literally a tough. Like, I actually, oh my god. Yeah, like, oh my god, I want to say Cody might retain, but in the half, 50% want to say Darby. You know what? I'm just going to go with my instincts right now. I'm picking the one, the only Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, I said.
This is going to be a tough one. Yeah, indeed. It literally could go either way. And there might be rumors that Sting may be having an appearance, given that, well, his merchandise was removed from WWE shop, so whatever contract he had is probably up, but I'm not sure about that. I would take that with a the recommended amount of daily sodium intake as noted by your doctor. But I'm not sure, really. Again, it literally can go either way, and you wouldn't be mad. I don't know, really, either. I think I'm just going to go with Cody for now. It still is a bit early in his second reign. He's currently reigned over, 30 or so days? And yeah, so I probably have a feeling it might be Cody retaining. But you never know, man. You never know. And like I said, either result, I wouldn't be mad. Now here is a match that has basically been how many years in the making? Why don't we look up the tweet here? Young Bucks versus the Revival. Remember this tweet? If I can find it. Here it is, right here. Matt Jackson himself tweeted this out on, what was it? If the darn page would load, this is what I get for having uploaded a video before. Here we go. Here it is. December 4th, 2018. During a very, very dark time for Raw. Oh, good grief. Wish I had a cell bar at that point, or realized my love for it sooner, because
What happened during that Raw?
it was a rough time, man, for Raw. It was pretty bad. Back-to-back weeks of unbearable Raw.
That's when Ben Coben was
he was the acting
constant
GM or sorts, or maybe the full GM. I don't even want to remember. Just don't remind me. It was terrible. Yeah, and there was a tweet around this time, December 4th, 2018. Matt Jackson himself tweeted out, one day we'll wrestle the Revival and everyone will rejoice. Remember this tweet, December 4th, 2018. Well, about 1.5-ish year, or almost close to 2 years later, here we are. FTR versus the Young Bucks in a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. But there's one small, teensy-weensy little stipulation. Well, technically two, but we'll get to one, Tully Blanchard's banned from ringside, and a small, teensy-weensy little stipulation is that if the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the AEW World Tag Team Championship again. Are you serious, bro? It's way too early to do the show. Oh, God. Okay, how do I describe this? Hold on. Let's just give the people the background, and then we'll get into it. Alright, so a 4-way tag team match was scheduled for the October 14th episode of Dynamite, with the winning team challenging FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championship at Full Gear. The 14th were picked at random and were Private Party, Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order, The Butcher, The Blade. I'm going to start sounding like Laurinaitis, but that's how Solomonster said it at one point. And the Young Bucks. The match was won by the Young Bucks. In a promo in the October 28th episode, the Young Bucks said that if not win at Full Gear, they would never challenge for the title again. And that's one of my major problems. You already have the Cody stipulation, despite the fact that it didn't even feel like that long ago. And now look, now you're doing it again with the Young Bucks? How are you going to get away with that again? I don't get it here. I know the can we really have a second set of tag team belts, like TNT Tag Team Championships? Like, I know the tag division is stacked to hell and high water, and then some in AEW. And with how many teams that aren't really seen so much, that do have that haven't really gotten too much opportunities to shine, like Private Party, if you ask me, I feel like if this is going to set that up, maybe it has more leeway than a mid-card title, but for gosh sake, the Cody thing was done that long ago. And with the Bucks on their first match against FTR, a match about almost 2 years in the making, you're really going to blow it early? I don't know, and I do feel like the build-up could have been a little bit better, but I'm sure the actual match itself will still deliver. Hell, the match could be better than the build-up, but we'll see. We'll just have to see.
Match better than Revolution with Young Bucks and Kenny and Heyman.
That was a good one, but I don't know if this will go that far. We'll have to see. I mean, FTR and the Young Bucks have a serious clash of styles, so I definitely think it'll complement in a weird way. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
before I get to who I think is going to win. I'm not sure. Have we glossed over the fact that Matt Jackson is working injured right now? Matt Jackson has a partially torn MCL and he has a thinning of the ACL, which can be considered a slight tear. If that fully tears, he is out for at least 6 months, potentially up to a year.
Oh, good
so
grief.
it is a risk. It is a big risk. It's a high risk allowing him to compete on Saturday. I'm not sure why they need to do it now. Maybe just compound the already stacked card. But I would have been fine waiting and have the best friends go up against them. I swear they were building to a few weeks before that anyway. So I don't know. I mean, the stipulation is what if Young Bucks lose, they can't compete for the titles again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they do lose, I don't think they'll go down the route of Cody. I think they'll keep winning and winning and winning until they get another stipulation where if they win, they can challenge for the titles again. I don't think that's as cut as dry as what the Cody stipulation is right now. So, and partner up with the fact that you know the Young Bucks, they're going to be injured quite soon, and to have them win and then be injured and then FTR retain, it's no point. It's just going around in circles with no definitive endpoint. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the FTR to win here.
Bold prediction, but one will win and one will lose. What about you, Steven?
I think, well, the Young Bucks do win. I feel like, and you said Matt Jackson tore his ACL, you said?
He tore his MCL when he's got a slight tear of the ACL.
Oh, shoot. If they do win, he might have to vacate, just like what Finn Balor had to do when he won the, oh, shit.
The Universal Championship, implying that the Bucks even win in the first place.
Yeah, basically, just to clear things up, Finn Balor, that was a freak accident. With Matt Jackson, he could tear it, but with every passing match, it's like a ticking time bomb. You just never know when it's going to give out.
This is going to be a tough one also, because they could put the titles still on FTR, though.
Retain, you mean?
I mean, retain, but then Bucks wouldn't win. I'll go with the Young Bucks.
Bold, my good dude. But, geez, you guys are putting me in a tough spot now. It's like, I genuinely don't know. Again, this is a tough one to predict. Like, are you really going to do it here? I mean, like I said, the idea you mentioned, Healy, about just having the Bucks win and win and win until they get a chance stipulation where they can challenge if they win in a future match would probably be ideal. But then, like I mentioned, the tag division at AEW is pretty stacked, so maybe a second set of belts would help, but God, don't make me choose, damn it. Okay. This is probably gonna maybe bite me in the ass, but no, it won't. I'm gonna go with FTR on this one. I know it's gonna be crazy, plausible, and sound insane, but if what you said is true, Healy, then maybe that might have some credence to it. So I'll go with FTR. Next up, we have Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match for the AEW World Championship. Hold on. Excuse me. Now, where was I? Where is it? There it is. It's at the top, even though it's not the first match listed in the card, but who gives a damn? Anyways, on the September 23rd episode of Dynamite, Jon Moxley retained the AEW World Championship over Eddie Kingston by making him pass out to a chokehold. On the October 14th episode, Kingston attacked Moxley after the latter's match with Lance Archer, proclaiming that he never tapped out. The following week, Moxley was scheduled to defend the title against Kingston in an I Quit match against Full Gear. Now, we both know they have pretty strong backgrounds with this kind of street stuff, and an I Quit match just leads itself to all sorts of crazy shit. And given the high bar that was set by the last I Quit match that happened at Hell in a Cell this year, I'm sure this one will just be as high, if not maybe slightly higher, but still, it should still be a really solid match. Again, the build-up for this one has definitely been very strong and worthy of this stipulation. And I have to say, whew boy, here's another match that, much like last year, I believe it was, the Lights Out unsanctioned match between Omega and Moxley, this one will probably also not be for the faint of heart. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
The promo work between these two and what they can do in the future, because I do not think this feud will be over after this match. Maybe they won't have another match, but they will have bad blood, of course. I think has been great. I think the promo on Wednesday really has been the best promo of the feud and probably one of the promos of the year. I don't think it's going to be a clean finish. You have all this talk about how Kingston will never say I quit. Moxley, we just know he's not going to say I quit. Even if he was to lose, it wouldn't be through him saying I quit. It's going to be a dusty finish. How that works out, I don't know.
God forbid it's a repeat of 1999.
I don't think we'll get to that point, but you never know. I don't think the 7th of November 2020 is Moxley's day to lose that title. I feel like we'll be seeing him with the title well into 2021. I feel like we can go for a year-long reign with this. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Moxley.
Interesting. Steven, who do you think's going to win?
Healy said Moxley's gonna retain. He's gonna face Omega. Go from there.
Yeah,
but I'm sure I'm gonna put one of a good of a match, just like they always.
I'm agree with both of you. I definitely think while this will definitely be one hell of a match, I definitely feel that Mox himself was not quite ready to lose that belt just yet. What, do you expect me to lose already, Kingston? No, I expect you to quit. Sorry, I've had a similar line on my mind for a while. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jon Moxley on this one. So, remember when I said that some of the pay-per-views have had bumps in them? Well, if we go to the previous All Out, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara had one hell of a bump in it. And I do mean that both literally and figuratively. So, yeah, this rematch might get some people going, basically. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara, but it's in an Elite Deletion match, so probably it's going to be all cinematic, taped at the Hardy compound, just like other matches of this type before.
Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah, that was so good. It's just a shame the people in attendance didn't actually get to see it, but I digress. So anyways, after Matt Hardy defeated Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match at All Out, and even though after the match was seemingly partially thrown out, only to realize, oh shit, he's still fucking concussed, what are we doing, but still did it, Hardy took time off until he was clear to return due to the concussion that he sustained during that match, and it was... oh, it sucked the wind out. It didn't help that the pay-per-view, that All Out, basically went on way too longer than it had any right to. He reunited with Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn as their manager, but was attacked backstage before their match on the September 16th episode of Dynamite. The attacker was later revealed to be Sammy Guevara, and the Elite Deletion match was announced, which will take place at the Hardy compound in Cameron, North Carolina. Now, I always love these kinds of matches, too, here. Whenever it's Matt Hardy and Cinematic at the compound in some way, there's always some crazy shit to go down. Whether it was an Impact, the match he had with Bray Wyatt in WWE, and by the way, I still stand by my theory of the fact that when Bray was thrown into the Lake of Reincarnation, his tag team reign with Hardy, or them as a tag team, was just an illusion in Bray's mind, and that he was actually fully reincarnated as, well, the Fiend / Mr. Rogers Bray, but, yeah. And, here, I don't think this is going to be any different, and given how we've had the Stadium Stampede match, which was pretty good, I also expect this to be pretty good as well. Healy, who do you think's going to win?
First and foremost, I'm glad this match is happening, and there wasn't anything more serious than what transpired last pay-per-view with Matt Hardy. So it's good that we're getting a rematch. I feel like with Cody and Darby, this is another toss-up. I feel like it could conceivably go either way. It would make sense. You have Matt Hardy winning in his home field, and maybe they can have some sort of final match where Sammy Guevara gets the rub. But at the same time, you could go for it this show where Guevara gets the rub over the Legend Hardy, and it really boosts his stock. So if I had a coin, I would flip it but I'm going to go with the person who has the home field advantage. I'm going to go with Matt Hardy.
All right, and Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
Same. I think Matt Hardy's going to win. You know, it's his hometown. His, you know.
Yeah, home field advantage, rather. And I'm gonna go with Matt Hardy as well for that reason as well, because it's really gonna be there. And God forbid Sammy Guevara becomes a whipping boy, but it's almost like we're sort of getting to that point there, which is, good grief.
There's been a lot of cinematic matches. There's been a lot of cinematic, and we know what's the worst one. Let's not go back there.
Don't you get me started, man. I want to find the person who thought that was a good idea and ask them why. Why did you think this was a good idea? It wasn't. You were so preoccupied with whether or not you could that you didn't stop and think if you should. But this is not one of those circumstances, thankfully. Match will be great. I'm going with Matt Hardy for this one. Sorry, Sammy. Our next match is Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's World Championship. On July 15th at Fight for the Fallen, Nyla Rose revealed Vicky Guerrero as her manager. After Rose's match on the October 13th episode of Dark, the duo known as the Vicious Vixens challenged Hikaru Shida to an AEW Women's World Championship match. And she made quick work of them on the October 28th episode. Or no, not it. She made quick work of them. And on the... Or not quite. No, I'm sorry. I thought it was something else. You mean Vicky and Nyla. Oops.
Has she been... Oh, shit. She is the longest reigning so far.
What, Shida? Really? 1 second. We'll get back to the detail in a moment. I just need to check this. You're right. And now, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, it was announced that eventually that... Oh, shit. I lost my place. So, yeah. So, Rose and Guerrero... or more specifically, Rose challenged Shida to the Women's World Championship match, and on the October 28th episode of Dynamite, Shida accepted the challenge and the match was officially announced. This is kind of another tough spot that we're in here. Unfortunately, with the way the division is at the moment, it seems like Shida is taking the fall again, which I think is unfair to her. I do think she is a talented worker in herself, but unfortunately, with the way the division is currently, a lot of the overseas talent is still stuck overseas because the world is still a fucking mess right now. And on top of that, there really haven't been much talent overseas because, or over here at least, to handle. Because, I mean, Statlander, I'm pretty sure, is still injured. And a lot of the people are still lower on the card. Like, Swole is still a little green and hasn't quite gotten there yet. Britt Baker, still almost, but still have to reach just a little bit. It's just, it's kind of tough. I really feel like there's still some things that need to be done with the women's division. And it doesn't help that they've been putting a lot more emphasis on the NWA Women's World Championship as of late. I don't mind the partnership and all, but not when it bleeds into their other division, which requires serious attention, because it's really the weakest link out of everything that AEW has to offer. Yeah. Healy, who do you think's going to win?
You know, for all that AEW representatives hark on about how WWE have to rely on 50-50 booking, if they have Nyla Rose beat Hikaru Shida for the title on Saturday, then it's just the biggest, longest case of 50-50 booking we've seen.
Yikes.
Hikaru Shida won that title from Nyla Rose in May.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really built any new stars since. You could argue Big Swole and, to an extent, Britt Baker. But apart from that, I mean, we haven't even seen Nyla Rose that much. She's been an asset on Dark, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to have Nyla Rose beat Hikaru Shida 6 months after the opposite result happened, to bring the title back to where it was, what was the point of Hikaru Shida winning the title at all in the first place? I feel like if Hikaru Shida has to lose the title, it has to be to one of the following: Britt Baker, Big Swole, maybe Thunder Rosa. It can't be Nyla Rose, not especially after Rose was the person who lost the title. It makes no sense. It's 50-50 booking. I hate it. So for that, for common sense reasons as well. Also, Shida is my favorite in AEW, my favorite women's wrestler, one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I'm going to go with her to win.
Steven, who do you think's going to win?
I think Shida, because she reminds you like the John Cena of AEW. You know, she's the face of the face of AEW.
I wouldn't go that far per se. But I'm going to go with Shida as well. I think the points about the 50-50 madness are so true. And when we just look at it, yeah, I do hope we can seriously put some fixes in this women's division. But, good lord, it's like one step forward, two steps back, even if the circumstances are outside of their hands. But I'm going to go with Hikaru Shida. Next match on the card is Chris Jericho versus MJF, and if MJF wins, he is allowed to join the Inner Circle. So MJF, who originally wanted to join Chris Jericho's stable, the Inner Circle, on November 13th, 2019, looked to join a stable after unsuccessfully challenging for Jon Moxley's AEW World Championship at All Out. MJF invited Jericho to Le Dîner Debonair, a steak dinner where they performed Me and My Shadow, during which Jericho announced the Inner Circle would hold a town hall meeting to decide whether MJF should join the group. A friggin' segment that shouldn't have worked, and yet it did. And this is why I say, and I have to bring this up here, I want Jericho and MJF and the members of the Inner Circle to do a rendition of Put That Thing Back Where It Came From or So Help Me from the end of Monsters, Inc. Just, mwah. That would be just freaking, I would just love every minute of it. And of course, Jim Cornette would be just crying, and I'd be drinking them tears, because, Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, so after several questions from Eric Bischoff and others, Jericho brought up that MJF has never beaten him, and would give him a match at Full Gear, allowing MJF to join the group if he wins. Now this would be an interesting thing because of some of the tension between some of the other members, mostly Ortiz and Sammy Guevara, or shall I say Sammy Whipping Boy. But yeah, mostly it's those two who've had some tension with him. But in a way, this could be a very interesting storyline, depending on how it goes. Like, what do you do? Do you have MJF win and secretly start to take over the Inner Circle, then kick Jericho to the curb? Or do you just knock him down right then and there, and other reasons? I don't know, but again, the build-up for this has been pretty strong, including a segment, like I said, that shouldn't have worked, but it did because, well, AEW does what WWE don't. And yeah, I think this should be an enjoyable match. They are kind of sort of both heels in a way, but it's like, I don't know, like, it's still working out better than it should. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
For all the critics out there that can criticize and pick apart and analyze and be skeptical about this angle, and let me just remind you, wrestling is at its best when it is inherently bollocks, as one Tom Campbell would say. So to have all this dinner debonair stuff, it's a mirror image of what Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens did back in 2017 and 2016. Except you could argue that this is better, but we haven't really seen them heights yet. I think we have to see how MGM maps his way into the Inner Circle, which I think is going to happen. Kind of a bit of a spoiler before I make my official prediction, but still, it's going to be a good match. And I don't think this feud is far from over. I know who's going to win. It's going to be MJF, but I'll let you know how it's going to win. I'll go a step further and let you know how it's going to win. Ooh. I think, in a bit of a weird, warped sense, MJF is going to turn on Chris Jericho so he can become a tag team with Chris Jericho. Here's what's going to happen. Ref's got his back turned in the circle MJF may have done something bad in the circle trying to get the ref's attention. MJF low blows Chris Jericho for the pinfall. So basically MJF turns heel. I know he's already heel, but so he turns heel on Chris Jericho so he can team with Chris Jericho. That is a bit of a mind effer if you think about it. So yeah, I could elaborate further, but we will be here all night. So I'm going to go with MJF to win here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to process that. But my God, man, it's so genius. And Steven, who do you think's gonna win?
You know what? This is another toss-up, but I think because he is the man that he was the first ever AEW World Champion. He beat Heyman and Page for it. Chris Jericho.
Aw, you're gonna both put me in this situation again for the third time. I'm pretty sure this is the third time we're in this. Hey, let me see. Or I think, is it? Maybe? I can't remember, man. Whatever. Probably the MJF thing would be brilliant. Simply brilliant. And I think you could probably build off a lot further stuff. Now I'm afraid this one could be the one that bite me, but you know what? I want to go with MJF. Yeah, you may as well do it while you're ahead. What's the worst that could happen? And our next match is Orange Cassidy versus John Silver, plain old singles match. There's really not much build up here, but yeah. Higher level versus lower level goon of stable that has been mixed but grown over time, but still hasn't quite broken out into that tag team championship scene. But maybe that's not quite fully needed, but you never know one of these days. And again, with how low they are on the card, I'm pretty sure this is an obvious match of who's gonna win, and oh boy. I have to throw it now to his personal hype man. Heavy, tell me who you think's gonna win, even though it's probably obvious.
Okay, so let me build him up for a minute. Okay, Orange Cassidy. This man is the reason why Waldo is hiding. Okay, let me tell you something about Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy can divide by 0. Let me tell you something else about Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy does not sleep. He simply does not sleep. All he does is waits until the next day happens. And he gets up at 4 a.m. because why the flipping hell not? Ooh. Orange Cassidy can strangle you with a cordless phone. That is the utter violence inside his guts. Okay, here's another thing. For some people, one testicle is bigger than the other, but it's different with Orange Cassidy. You want to know why? Because with Orange Cassidy, each testicle is larger than the other one. That's a mind effort for you.
Oh my.
If I walked in on my girlfriend cheating on me with Orange Cassidy, I'd apologise profusely for cheating on Orange Cassidy's girlfriend a month in advance, and I would let them continue having sex in front of me. I'll be a cuck for Orange Cassidy.
Oh my god.
Let me tell
Are
you something.
Serious?
Let me tell you something. Goat's milk comes from a goat. The goat's milk, the greatest of all time. The goat's milk comes from the cock of Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy recently had the idea to sell his pee as a canned beverage. Guess what? It's called Red Bull. It's one of the biggest energy drinks of all time.
Oh my.
If you ask Orange Cassidy what time it is, you know what he says? He says 2 seconds. 2 seconds to what? He roundhouse kicks you in the face. Orange Cassidy's tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cried in his life because he's a hard son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something about the Dark Order. The Dark Order got in Orange Cassidy's face. He riled him up. He pissed him off. But you don't want to know something? Orange Cassidy does not own a stove. He does not own an oven, or he does not own a microwave. Do you want to know why Orange Cassidy does not own a stove? Do you want to know why Orange Cassidy does not own a microwave? Do you want to know why Orange Cassidy does not own an oven? Because, my friends, revenge is a dish best served cold, and Orange Cassidy has been waiting for this moment for a long time. He's going to grab John Silver and he's going to turn him into gold when he kicks him right into the sun and beats his ass all over wherever the fuck Daly's place is on Saturday.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, who cares? It's now Orangeville because Orange Cassidy's there, motherfucker. So, in conclusion, fuck John Silver. He's a piece of shit. I bet his mum would disown him if he could. I bet John Silver has a small penis.
Ooh.
I bet John Silver has no penis. I bet Orange Cassidy.
God.
You know doesn't have one. Oh!
Boy, if you don't, I'll get you for that. I'll get you for that, Moxley. You hear me?
But let me tell you something else about Orange Cassidy. All outer space exists because it's afraid to be on the same planet with Orange damn Cassidy. When Orange Cassidy does a push-up, he's pushing the earth down. Orange Cassidy doesn't wear a watch. He decides what time it is, and it's ass-whooping time on Saturday. Orange Cassidy for the fucking win.
Ladies and gentlemen, Orange Cassidy's personal hype man. I don't call him that for no reason. And, man, let me tell ya, I have friggin' missed this madness. Hasn't quite got me to fully laugh, but you know what? Damn.
Oh, I'm not done. You
Uh-oh.
shut your mouth, boy.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to know
no.
why Orange Cassidy is not on AEW Dark? Do you want to know why he's on Dynamite? Because the Dark is afraid of Orange Cassidy.
God.
Some kids pee their name into the snow. Orange Cassidy can pee his name into concrete. If you want a list of Orange Cassidy's enemies, just check the extinct species list. Orange Cassidy drinks napalm to fight his heartburn. And you want to know something? Even if he doesn't drink that and he gets a heart attack, the heart loses. If Orange Cassidy recently... Oh my god, Orange Cassidy. The thing is with Orange Cassidy, since 1940, the year Orange Cassidy was born, yeah, he may be young, but he has a heart of a lion, so he's born later. He roundhouse kicked so many people that roundhouse kicks related deaths have increased 14,000%. On the 7th day, God rested, Orange Cassidy took the fuck over. The dinosaurs looked at Orange Cassidy the wrong way once. Do you want to know what happened to them? No asteroid, I'll tell you that much. Orange Cassidy breathes air 5 times a day.
And
Orange Cassidy does not read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Time waits for no man unless that man is Orange Cassidy. If you spell Orange Cassidy in Scrabble, you win forever. Orange Cassidy appeared in the Street Fighter 2 video game, but was removed by beta testers because every button caused him to do a roundhouse kick. When asked about this glitch, Orange Cassidy replied, "That's no glitch, bitch."
Well, I'll be damned. Moxley, who do you think's gonna win?
I think the only one who's gonna win this is, drumroll please, Daniel Bryan!
You mother... Just... wrong fucking company, you dope. Hey, don't take it too far
Hey,
now.
speaking of Daniel Bryan, Bryan goes vegan. Vegan goes Orange Cassidy.
Okay, Mox, just be for real. Who do you think's gonna win?
Cassidy.
And it looks like we're all in unanimous agreement, not just because of the hype, but yeah. And I'm going with Orange Cassidy on this.
You know the whole old saying: once you go black, you never go back. Well, once you go orange, you never go door hinge.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good point.
Basically, everyone who faces Orange Cassidy gets pegged.
Indeed, except for maybe Pac, but that's a whole nother story before he really achieved his true
Cassidy
form.
has a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cassidy to win on this one. And the final friggin' match we have, that was we had to make up time, by the way, with that long overdue hype, given his missing appearance for the past AEW pay-per-view when we had the Mimosa match. But hey, make up for lost time now so we can come back stronger. Anyways, Serena Dee versus Alison K for the NWA Women's World Championship is our last match. I really can't say much because I haven't been following the NWA Women's World Champion scene. What I will say is that I feel like AEW is putting more focus on this belt than they are their main women's championship, which we already mentioned earlier. And yeah, Deeb defeated Rosa at one of the recent NWA shows, and yeah, I appreciate the partnership and all, but not at the risk of the main women's division. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy. In conclusion, Orange Cassidy.
Hey!
Serena Dee.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good lord, man, you're not
I just
over
told you my
it.
reason.
You're
Orange
not
Cassidy,
over
Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
Let me present to you this point.
Oh no.
Okay, so I did say Orange Cassidy, but here's this: Cassidy Orange.
Oh,
Orange
yo,
Cassidy,
fuck,
Orange
I
Cassidy,
lost.
Orange Cassidy, Orange Cassidy.
I lost. Oh god, I'm tapping. Okay.
Orange Cassidy. So,
Oh god, okay.
Nakamura.
Ah!
Orange Cassidy,
I stop.
Juliette, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy.
I lose.
Cassidy.
Okay, I said it. I tapped.
No,
I
I'm
said I tapped.
Cassidy Owen.
I think we did it.
James Sipley. Orange Cassidy.
Okay. You
Kick in
get
the
him.
ass. Cock and
Oh, stop.
the balls. Funny,
Oh,
haha,
stop.
sex number.
Stop.
So for that.
Stop.
So for all those
Stop! Okay! I give
for all
up!
the reasons above, I'm going to go with Serena Deep to win this one.
I can't!
Cassidy.
I can't! Stop! If you keep this up, Mox is not going to be able to say it. It will be. I give up!
Leo and H2O stands for orange.
I give up! I give up! You did it!
Orange or Cassidy.
You did it!
Okay.
You did it, man. You got me to do it. Congratulations, man.
God, I need to piss.
Oh, come on. Just go on and do it. Well, I ask Mox.
Piss Cassidy.
Stop! Mox, who do you think's gonna win?
Orange Cassidy.
Who did you say,
You're
Mox?
welcome.
Shut it! Who did you say, Mox? Serena
Serena
Dee?
Dee.
I'm going with Serena Dee as well. Now, let's stop before this really gets out of hand.
Orange juices his semen.
Stop! Alright, folks. That's gonna do it for here for Full Gear. My only hope is that it doesn't go over enough like All Out did, because that ran close to 4 hours. I'm hoping this one they can keep within that time frame, and yeah, hopefully this should be... I have a feeling this will probably be the best pay-per-view that AEW does this whole year. I want to thank Heathy for always being here with us. Say bye, Heathy, before you drive me.
Sure, you know what they say. Everybody has a penis. But yeah, it's been good to see you. Cool.
And I'd like to thank Mox as well for being here with me. Say bye, Mox.
Yeah, guys, but we got a huge announcement. An AEW game. I think it's coming very soon.
Oh, you better keep your eye out for that. The big announcement on November 10th. Ooh, this is going to be something.
It's going to be a mobile game, but it's going to be fun to hear nonetheless.
Oh, man, come on. I don't need mobile garbage. Give me the actual friggin'... Give me the
they need
full
time. This whole pandemic is a weird situation, isn't it?
Don't even get me started. But we'll just see you for the next pay-per-view, which, according here... Yep, Survivor Series, 30th anniversary of The Undertaker's debut at the same show he debuted at, and it's his final farewell. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for this final farewell, where it all started 30 years ago, and where it all ends. Till next time, everybody, take care, and bye for now.